Hello BookTube, welcome to Lizzie Faye Loves Books. I'm Elizabeth, and as you can see, I've gone and done it. I've had my hair chopped off. I did get enough cut off that I could donate, and I took both girls to the salon on Saturday. Katie just got a trim. She's not willing to part with hers, but we got Emily's haircut. Here's her ponytail. Now my ponytail is a little sadder because it started falling out of the ponytail holder. I was trying to spread it out to let it dry out, and when I went to pick it up, it started falling out. So I've got to sit down and straighten it out a little bit. But anyway, it'll look like this again, hopefully, when I have time to straighten it out. We're going to donate these to Girl Scouts. Katie's Girl Scout troop leader told us a while back that they are having a hair drive, and so that's where these are going to get donated. And so, yay, I'm glad that I finally got that done. I probably wouldn't have cut it quite this short, but I needed to have a 12-inch ponytail. So it's done, and it'll grow. But today's video is going to be a wrap-up of the Cozyathon. The Cozyathon was hosted by Silvia Kay, who is such a sweet person. I have only recently started watching her. I had never heard of her channel until I started seeing people talking about the Cozyathon, and it was really fun. I enjoyed it. It lasted for 2 weeks, actually I think 15 days, and there were 15 challenges. Now I chose to try to do the challenges in order, one a day, but of course you didn't have to do that. In fact, Sylvia commented, she's like, you don't have to do that, it's okay. And I said, no, it was just me. I wanted to, add a little spice to it, and just, I always like to make things more difficult than they have to be. Why do I do that to myself? I don't know. But it was fun, and I enjoyed doing it. So I wanted to go through the challenges with you. I have been reporting on them most every day in my videos for VEDO, but I thought I would just kind of wrap it all up and tell you about what I did and what I read during the Cozyathon. So the first challenge was to read in a coffee shop, and I did read a couple of chapters, actually the first 2 chapters of Isla and the Happily Ever After on the first day, which was Sunday, October 1st. I went to Books A Million, and they have a Joe Muggs coffee shop there. Emily and I both went, and I got us both a vanilla cream frappuccino without the coffee in it, without the espresso, because I'm having to limit the amount of coffee that I have. So it was basically a vanilla milkshake, but it was good, and I enjoyed doing that. It's something I rarely ever do, and I guess normally the idea is when you're in a coffee shop attached to a bookstore, you should buy a book and read that, but I chose to go ahead and take my library book in, although I did buy a book, and I'll tell you about that later in one of the other challenges, which was to buy a book. Okay, then the next challenge was a little awkward for me. It was to read in a bathtub, and I don't really ever even take a bath. I just shower off quick and I'm done. So that was a little out of my comfort zone, but it was nice. I enjoyed it, and I did read, I think, about a chapter and a half of Isla on day 2. Then day 3 was the hardest. It was to read a book, an entire book by candlelight. And at first I thought maybe I would read a book on my e-reader, but then I decided to go with something short, and even then it took me several days to get this done. But I chose to go ahead and reread The Chocolate Touch by Patrick Skene Catling. Then this fulfilled the challenge later on, which was challenge number 9, to read a book with the word chocolate in the title. So it took me from day 3 to, I think, probably about day 10 before I actually was able to finish this by candlelight, and I did not enjoy reading by candlelight. Now, if we'd had a power outage and I had to do it out of necessity, that would be fine. But reading by candlelight was weird. I mean, not weird. It was just hard to do it when I didn't have to. So that I could see why it would be cozy if that's all I had, and that would be fine. But it wasn't really my thing, and I'm not a big candle burner anyway. I have candles, but they're just like candles in a jar, which are ones that you really wouldn't be able to read by unless you just had to. So anyway, that was my least favorite challenge and the one that took me the longest. But anyway, backing up now to number 4, which was read while wearing fluffy socks and a cozy jumper. So I only have one pair of fluffy socks, and they've almost lost their fluff, but I have this pair, and I'm not really sure exactly what a jumper is, but I have this robe that's a zip-up robe. It's really soft. It's got fur on the collars and the sleeves. I hardly ever wear it because it's not that cold here in Florida, but I did turn up the air conditioning, and I put on the socks and the robe and sat in the recliner, and I dozed off for about an hour and a half. I would wake up and read a page and then doze off again. So that was fun. I didn't get much read. I think I got a total of maybe 10 pages read, but it was a fun challenge to do, and I was very comfortable. And then the next challenge was to read while listening to relaxing music. So I have the computer in the kitchen, and really the dining table is one of my favorite places to read. So I looked up some music that I had heard of before that I really enjoyed, and it is on the Deep Breakfast album by Ray Lynch. I didn't find the particular song that I liked the best, but I did enjoy the one that I listened to, and I read about a chapter or two before Katie came through and shut it off and began talking to me, and so that was the end of that. But it was fun. I enjoyed doing that, and I want to look that album back up. In fact, I really want to purchase that album because it's got some really relaxing, beautiful music on it. All right, the next one was to read while sipping a comforting hot beverage of your choice. I usually drink my coffee in the morning, and I believe in the evening when I actually did this challenge, I made some tea, and I can't remember what kind of tea now I had, but that was my challenge. I believe it was this cup. So a friend gave me this cup a while back, and I, for the longest time, didn't even take it out of the box because I didn't really need a cup. Then when I finally took it out of the box, I think I had some miscellaneous items in it, and I set it up on my desk. And then I was cleaning off my desk, a couple months ago, and all that stuff that was in there, really, it was trash. So I threw it away, and I washed the cup, and I started drinking out of it, and I love this cup. So it's a Christian cup. It says, "With God, all things are possible," Matthew 19:26. And then on the other side, it says, "With man, this is impossible, but with God, all things are possible," which is, I guess, the whole verse. And it's really a comfortable cup to drink. It's nice and wide, so it holds a lot, and I really like it. So I enjoyed that challenge. Then the next one was to read a chapter first thing in the morning. And I think I was still reading this book. By that time, that was Saturday, so I didn't have to get up and get kids ready for school or anything like that. I think I said in my Saturday video, I did put the bacon on, and while it was heating up, I got most of my chapter read, so that was good. Then the next challenge was to read a book purely for escapism, and that was on Sunday. So about the only thing I did other than read on Sunday was go to church. Our church that we go to right now only has a morning service, so we went to church, and then after that, I pretty much took the rest of the day, and I finished Isla and the Happily Ever After. I still had a little more than half to go, and I just kept reading it all day. I mean, I occasionally had to put it down for one thing or another, but I was determined to get this read. I think in the evening, Katie went to the movies with Randy took her and some of her friends. They were going to see It, so it required parental supervision, and I required parental supervision. I didn't really want her to go and see it, but anyway, her dad went with her and a couple other friends, and so I can't shelter her forever. And she said she enjoyed it. So anyway, I got this book finished while they were at the movies. Then the next challenge was to read a book with chocolate in the title, which I already told you about. And then the next one was to read a book with an autumnal cover. And I looked through all of my immediate TBR, and the one with the most autumn colors was Shadows of Sherwood by Kekla Magoon, and I'm still working on this. I've got less than 100 pages to go, and I hope to finish this today. I have been plugging away at this all week. I would have had it done by now, except that I have been nursing this horrible toothache. I'm having some relief right now. I finally got a chiropractic treatment this morning and got some homeopathic medicine, and I am doing much better, but I have a dentist appointment on Wednesday, and hopefully then I will be able to get my root canal done and I will be better. So meanwhile, I've been reading this as much as I could through my toothache pain, and I'm almost done, so I'm happy about that. Then the next one is to reread an all-time favorite. So because I had already, I think that same day, I had finished The Chocolate Touch. So I decided to go ahead and reread The Whipping Boy by Sid Fleischman. This is just a fun book, and I enjoyed it thoroughly again. So I was excited to get this read. Then the next one was to, sorry, I'm looking to make sure feels like my phone is about to die here. The next one is to listen to an audiobook while baking. And I listened to and almost finished The Air by Kiera Cass. Now, I was a day late on this one. I got it done on the 13th day. But I made 2 pies, and I showed those on Friday on my Friday Reads video. And then later that same day, I did finish The Air, and I enjoyed it. Some people say that they don't like The Air and The Crown as much as the first 3, but I liked it just as well. I mean, maybe there wasn't quite as much excitement in this one, but I thought I have now finished both of these. I finished The Crown this morning, and I thought that they were very satisfying. I enjoyed the conclusion and how it all wrapped up. So I was really happy with this, The Crown and The Air by Kiera Cass. So I listened to that while baking, and then that same day, because I was trying to catch up, this was Saturday, it said do exercise for at least a half an hour while listening to an audiobook. So I put this on my phone. I had already been listening to it, The Second Sister by Marie Bostwick. I pulled this up on my phone. I had not listened to it for a few days. And I went out and I walked for 15 minutes, and then I came inside and I did some exercise and some stretches for another 15 minutes, and I got another half hour of this book listened to. And I've since then listened to it some more, to the point where I am almost done. I have maybe 2 hours left on it, and I will hopefully go ahead and get this finished today as well. And then the last 2, number 14 was to treat yourself to a book you've been craving. So the book I had been craving the most was Jen Karen's To Be Where You Are. And I actually bought this on day 1 of the Cozyathon. And then I went back to Books A Million on Saturday after we had gotten our hair cut. And I'll show you what we got. This is another book I've been craving for a long time. I have the first 2 in this series, but I did not have this one. It's called Poor Unfortunate Soul. This is the 3rd book in the Disney Villains series by, what is her name? Valentino is the last name. Let me look real quick. Oh dear, sorry. Serena Valentino. And it's published by Disney Press, and all of these have a really neat cover. On the inside is the other version, the alter ego of the villain on the front. So here's Ursula, and then here's her alter ego. And I'm excited. I have not read any of these yet. They're all 3 very short. I did start the Snow White one on the day that I bought them, and for some reason I didn't go ahead and finish it. So next year I'm going to tackle this series and read all 3 of these. Then I decided, instead of getting something else that I wanted, because Katie had seen it and she wanted to read the book, I decided to go ahead and bite the bullet and get this for her with the rest of my gift card. Now, I was spending the rest of my $50 gift card that I won from the public library for doing the summer reading challenge. And so I think this is maybe the movie tie-in cover, but this was the one they had on display. And since she saw the movie first, she was very happy with this cover. She's not hung up on, movie tie-ins and all that. She just wanted to read the book. And so now she has already read this much of it, and she seems to be enjoying it. So I don't think this is anything I will ever read, but my husband will probably read it, and Katie's excited to have it. And even though that used up the rest of my gift card, I went ahead and got one thing for Emily. She had picked out 2 of these, and I told her pick one, and it was only $4 plus tax. So this is a magic pen painting. This one is Minnie Mouse, and she is really into coloring lately, so I think she'll enjoy this. And, well, I know she will because she picked it up. Okay, so that is what I got with the rest of my gift card. And then the very last challenge was to give a comforting book to someone who's going through a rough time. And Silvia did kind of amend that. She said, just give a book to someone, you know, because you want to. It doesn't have to be, she said, it can kind of be uncomfortable to try to figure out who's going through a rough time. And I kind of agreed with that. So I had a couple of books that I had in mind to give someone locally, and I've got a box full of books that I'm planning to send to people that I've met online, but I couldn't get any of that done because my tooth was just killing me. So what I did last night was I took some books that I had already planned to put in the Little Free Library, and I took them down and I put them in the Little Free Library. So ultimately, at least a couple of those, hopefully somebody will want, and they will take those from the Little Free Library that's downtown. So that has to count for my giving a book. But just know that I will be giving plenty of books to other people in the very near future. And you yourself might be the recipient of one of those. In fact, I'll be contacting you for your address if I don't already have it, if you are one of the people that I have some books for. So that being said, that's my Cozyathon wrap-up. I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun, and it's really a great idea, a very unique idea for a readathon, because it wasn't so much about what books you read, but how you read them. So I thought that was fun. Thank you, Silvia, for thinking up such a fun readathon. So that's all I have for this video. I hope you're having a great day. Read a good book, and God bless you.